Greetings, beloved multiversal soul familia. This is day 3 of 6 Steps Towards Joy with Others. And after a solid day of really good rest, we are back at it again with number 3, mutuality. This is 6 Steps Towards Joy with Others from Angelic Realities. Competition, one-upmanship in quotations, and passing judgment on others are ego games that blind you to self-awareness and empowerment. If situations are approached from a win-win perspective of mutuality and the highest vision for all is sought, joyful solutions will prosper. What is the highest win-win vision right now? How can we both get our needs met? Are we respecting each other's boundaries? And how will I heal or disengage non-mutual relationships? We're going to go right into the Starseed Oracle. To see what insights and teachable moments pertaining to fostering a win-win vision from the Starseed Oracle. There's card number 1, and we're going to need 2 more. We're going to need 2 more. There's 2. And 1 more. Excuse me. Get 1 more pass. There we go. There we go. If I sound a little nasally, it's because I am. Alright, so we're going to do these in the order that they landed, which means this one would go first, this one would be second, and then this one would go last. Alright, here we go. Fostering highest win-win visions with deep cellular healing. This is Arcturus energy. I touched a little bit on Arcturian starseeds last week. Arcturian energy, physical and emotional healing. Let's bring it in. Here we are with deep cellular healing. Excuse me, and the notion of this has been showing itself quite frequently as of recent. I'm seeing frequency music videos as well as podcasts and other documentaries pertaining to cellular regeneration, cellular healing. And so here it is, right before us, as part of fostering the highest win-win vision and perspective of mutuality, where everyone's needs are being met. Your body knows how to heal. Healing is your natural state. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery or chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today, it's difficult to navigate our health. If this card has made its way to you, you're being called to focus on your healing in practical ways. To prioritize deep cellular healing, your health, to be kind and tender to your miraculous body, to give yourself the grounding and care you need, to put your body first, to nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby, to treat yourself with tender care. You may be called to switch things up with your body or your emotional well-being, to call in a team of helpers to support you in navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. The Arcturians are a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel vibrant in your body and well in your skin, to have your cells return to effervescence and vitality, to calmness and contentedness, to have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. Excuse me. And the activation for this card is, I take back my vitality and energy and feel more and more healthy each and every day. But my body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. All right. I'm going to share just a bit more in this session as well on Arcturian starseeds. Thought to have connections to the Arcturus star system, they are seen as intellectual, analytical, and spiritually advanced. They often possess a strong desire to learn and share knowledge. Ooh. So the second card to come out is We the Hathors. Deep love, mother's milk, and birth as a portal. We the Hathors. We are the Hathors. Hathors, both of this world and not of this world. They held such a gentle grace, their wise faces, which look much like wombs. A deep, deep mother holding. Excuse me. Okay, it's touching a bit on how birth is a gateway between the world for souls to enter. Deepening into the deep not knowingness of these incredible ancients, this ancient civilization of humanity, our place in it, and the mysterious pulse and journey of life. Speaking on the temple. Yes, the Temple of Hathor. Excuse me, the Temple of Dendera. Birth is a portal that ushers in new life. The Hathors are here to remind us that we are a child of the Cosmic Mother and being called to be held by her deep, never-ending love and embrace. This is a tender, nourishing card reminding us to receive the deep, deep love of Mother's embrace. And it's been placed on my heart randomly in this moment that this too can be applied to fostering a win-win perspective of mutuality, the highest vision for all, and joyful solutions will prosper from this. A tender, nourishing card reminding us to receive the deep, deep love of Mother's embrace, but also extend it to others. The Hathors know that the journey on earth can be rocky and lonely at times, but you're being reminded to rest more deeply in the Mother's arms. This card is one of extreme potency, of femininity, of creation, and of birth. We're being called to mother ourselves and others too, to surrender to our sacred femininity, to create and surrender to our own creations, to hold and be held, to remember our place in the web of life, and to realize that the Cosmic Mother is watching our every step of the way. We may be going through a transition right now, moving from one way of being to another. If so, we're being reminded that we are cradled in a sacred container, that we're more held than we can possibly imagine, and have access to more love than our heart can bear. If you're struggling in any way, especially with today's topic of mutuality or competition, we're being reassured that things will work out. Open ourselves to receiving the overflowing love of the Cosmic Mother, flooding towards us from every direction, and let it stretch your heart. Place your hand over your heart with this starseed activation and say, I allow the deep love of the Cosmic Mother to wash over me. I'm loved. I'm held. And the third card to piggyback today's message is the blue flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation, and integration time. The blue flame. This card is all about awakenings and energetic upgrades. Perhaps you're going through a period of spontaneous awakening, receiving visions and having experiences that are out of the ordinary. In the West, little is known about the process of spontaneous awakening, and it can feel very scary when we're going through it alone. Elsewhere, they can be seen as auspicious experiences, with those going through them being treated with tender care. The blue beings are thought to be activating beings with great potential for healing and upgrading our cellular structures. They appear in moments of extreme awakening, activating a physical Kundalini awakening and deep cellular and DNA healing. Many people glamorize the awakening process. However, in reality, it's much messier and more difficult than most of us would believe. We must first let go of what we think we know for sure and how we make sense of the world. This isn't easy. The awakening process, even when it's spontaneous, takes a considerable amount of time to integrate. And awakening without integration can leave us feeling very ungrounded. If you are in the midst of an awakening and the process never ends, there is no finish line when it comes to awakening, beloveds. Treat this time as deeply sacred and give yourself ample space to ground and integrate the extreme changes you are going through. And with this card, the activation is, I allow myself to surrender to the awakening process that's right for me. I take things slowly and integrate my experience each and every day. Excuse me. Okay. And this is the point where we touch a bit on mutuality. According to relational cultural theories, take on mutuality. The overwhelm of politics makes it easy to disconnect, not only from others, but from the broader currents of culture that shape our lives. RCT, which is relational cultural theory, emphasizes that people grow through and toward connection, suggesting a powerful antidote, mutuality. Traditionally, It applies mutuality to relationships between people, where each individual is moved by and moves the other. But what if we expand the idea of mutuality beyond the individual? What if we cultivate a culture of mutuality? A dynamic relationship where we allow ourselves to be moved by the world around us and in turn participate actively in its transformation. Allowing ourselves to be moved. According to the Bloomington Center for Connection.org, at the heart of cultural mutuality is a willingness to be impacted by the world. This means tuning into the forces that shape our daily lives, social issues that stir us, movements that inspire us, and the hardships that challenge us. It's being placed on my heart to mention that we are being guarded from being too moved or swayed by worldliness. To be in this world, but not to be of it. And to also recognize an air of caution at this time in terms of what types of movements inspire us and move us, what type of movements we support. There may have been movements in the past that we thought were promoting something positive, but were actually promoting the illness that they speak on, the political arena that they speak on, and permitting too much vulnerability. But we're still being guided to allow ourselves to be moved by others to a certain extent. It's also asking us to face realities that we could otherwise avoid. However, it is the openness to being moved that deepens our connections and makes movement possible. When we engage with broader currents, we invite a sense of belonging and purpose instead of being passive observers of a world beyond our control. We become active participants who respond meaningfully to the needs, struggles, and aspirations of our communities. Cultural mutuality begins with an open-hearted willingness to feel, to care, and to respond. Embracing active participation. Cultural mutuality invites us to use that movement as fuel for action. And when we engage with culture using mutuality, our lives and actions are woven into a tapestry of collective influence and change. Every small act, whether it's participating in a community initiative, supporting an important cause, or simply having open conversations, is part of a relational process that reinforces our shared humanity. Mutuality is a call to show up authentically, grounded in the values that matter to us. Cultural mutuality challenges us to move from passivity to agency, not only to feel but to act in ways that support a more connected, compassionate society. Here we are creating ripples for change, beloved soul, familia. One outcome of cultural mutuality is that our individual actions don't stop with us. As we are moved by others, our actions create ripples that move those around us. This is how change happens. Not through isolated acts, but through a network of connected actions that amplify each other. When we approach our culture with mutuality, we create an environment where others are invited to join, to contribute, and to carry forward the change we seek. This ripple effect empowers each of us to take action. In this context, mutuality becomes not only a personal commitment, but a collective force for growth and transformation. Engage with local issues. Participate in community dialogues. Focus on accurate disagreement. Be willing to be vulnerable. Practice everyday acts of mutuality. Reflect and recommit. Now, I will be going over these different steps to cultural mutuality in another session at another time. More than likely not throughout the remainder of this week, because we're going to wrap up 6 steps towards joy with others, and it will likely, this mini series will carry over into next week, and then sometime towards the beginning or middle of next week we will revisit this topic of cultural mutuality. And it is 27:16 on the timer as I'm taking a look. So that is going to be the angel number 27:16. For our guiding light and closing message. A powerful message guiding us and encouraging us to recognize our unique personality traits and use them to our fullest potential. It is a sign that new beginnings and fresh opportunities are on the horizon. It's also about personality development and creativity, suggesting that our personal growth, as represented in our capacity to feel and comprehend people, is strengthening. It also represents a readiness to create our future, to be ready mentally, many elements starting with readiness in mind, creating our future by being ready psychologically. We should think big and incline on all the ideas that bring our heart's desires to reality. And I'm having a better understanding of why I've been guided from every direction, it seems, to rest more. And it is because we are also in a period of spiritual advancement. Where some may be experiencing instability in the mind Therefore, it's good to reflect on our journeys and ask our Creator to direct us to vast opportunities that will change our fate, expanding our minds and grasping these opportunities that will help us, taking action when a good idea or thought comes in, and to not just sit this time. Now, I know you could be a bit confused if you've actually been listening in to my videos. One minute I'm telling you to be still and not do anything and embrace rest and be in a season of receiving. And the next minute I'm saying, oh, well, this is one of those times where it's a good idea to not just sit on this one. Something insightful and creative coming through. And this one we're not meant to sit with for too long. We're being guided to also recognize similarly that self-pity is not something that should be dragging our ideas at this time. Pushing forward and being optimistic about achieving all that we want in life. There is an option that's being presented to us and before us that will help us create the future that we want. And to not allow our dreams to slip away. Instead, bring our runner's strength together to realism. Our challenges that we have been facing up until this moment should not pull our effort, but instead allow it to be motivation towards our success. This number also helps us develop resolutions that will help us in our dreams, in our astral travels. Number 2 wants us to see that our soul destiny will guide us to better overall life quality. Additionally, if we can find a way to bring it to us in our own life a little bit more. Number 7, asking us to rest up when needed and whenever we have the chance. However, new battles will be on their way to us before too long, that's for sure. So the reason why we were being guided to rest from what seemed like every direction is because we have an important astral event or otherwise a new opportunity where both rest and embracing each new thing is going to be required. And making each new thing in our life as positive as possible by thinking in a positive light about it. Well, this is where I see this as like spiritual dumbbells, so to speak. Spiritual dumbbells that keep us pumping. Always be pumping those spiritual muscles, because transmuting ideas and situations that might not always seem that great or that positive into a positive light is not an easy feat. We have to be spiritual bad ASSESs. So this is why getting that adequate rest, but also not giving up on our creative self-expression and ideas comes in. We will know when it's time to shine light and when it's time to rest, as long as we are focused on optimal health. And with the number 16, remembering the right things in our world will fall into place exactly as they are meant to in the long run. With 271, to see that we have the power to transform someone's life just by living honestly and happily on our own. And number 716 wants us to make sure that we heal any worries about our own life, turning worries into wisdom. That has been coming out so much lately as well. Healing worries, turning them into wisdom. Also, using the positivity that comes from that to enjoy our life even more. In summary, this number, 2716, presents itself to us whenever we hear it, whenever we see it, at this time, meaning whenever you hear this message, to remind us that we're here to create a bright future and to be prepared and ready, because there will always be challenges and obstacles along the way. But as long as we never give up on the path, we will see fruition all throughout the journey. Continue to do all it takes to be successful and help those in need when you get a chance. And that, beloveds, is just a handful of ways to support mutuality rather than competition. Competitiveness is outdated. It is played out. Mutuality is the new one-up-manship. Passing judgment on others and playing ego games that blind self-awareness and empowerment are no longer, and for many of us never were, win-win, nor is it cute. And any form of prosperity experienced through catty competition is and shall be only short-lived. Short-lived. If situations are approached from a win-win perspective of mutuality and the highest vision for all is sought, joyful solutions will prosper. So now is the time for you to ask yourself, what is the highest win-win vision right now? How can we both get our needs met Are we respecting each other's boundaries? And or how will I heal or disengage non-mutual relationships? If you made it this far, you are a rock star. Thank you so very much for tuning in, beloved soul familia. With much gratitude and appreciation from my heart chakra to yours, brightest blessings.